Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with the Aragon. In this video I'd like to show you a tactical guide for the redeemed Citadel, so you don't end up burning yourself out and quitting the game due to the fact you've just spent way too much time playing it. So let's get started. Well now, as I mentioned in one of my recent videos, the redeemed Citadel, should you actually grind it out? Well, that's entirely up to you. Go ahead and watch that video if you need any more insight on whether you should or not. So you've decided you are going to grind this out. Well now, you are looking at this and it's a little daunting. You need 28,000 to reach the cap reward of the redeemed Citadel. Whether you're doing it without the blessing or with is beside the point. You're still going to need 28,000. However, if you do buy the blessing, you are at a less of a time constraint. Without the blessing, you have until the 15th of September, so you have 3 more weeks to fully cap this out to 28,000. Myself here, at 8,533 favors already, I'm at a decent spot, since I am quarter of the way there, and we've already gone 1 week out of 4. So the goal here is to at least get 7,000 favor per week, due to the fact you have 28,000 to obtain and you have 4 weeks to do it. So that leaves us with essentially 1,000 per day. You get 1,000 per day, that's 7,000 in your 7 days. Now, how best would you obtain these favors? Well, first up, the weekly challenges, which should reset every week, and you can obtain a total of 4,800 favors from these. If you look how it is currently, the UI tells you that you can do either or. However, there is a bug which lets you be able to complete all of them, and thus giving you that total of 4,800. Now, this bug, as posted out by developers, yes, it initially is a bug. However, they have no intentions to revert this. They're just going to change the UI so that it's not or, it's probably just going to be and. You can do all of them. So this leaves us a total still of 2,200 favors left to obtain. That means we only need to obtain just over 300 favors per day, excluding the weeklies. Now the weeklies, they should, if you're a decent group, and I assume if you are attempting to grind out the redeemed Citadel, you probably have a decent character and you should be able to carry your weight. And with a decent group, you should be able to complete all of these within at least 30 minutes, whether it's farming maps, farming mobs, doing your queues, or your hardcore queues. There shouldn't be too much difference between the hardcore queues and the queues themselves. I just ran a few of the hardcore queues last week, and yeah, they were actually fairly simple. The scaling on them is not any harder than it usually is. So you should be able to complete each of these in 30 minutes. That means you're looking at about 3 hours to complete all of them. And yes, I don't recommend you sit there doing all of them. However, they are a good bit different, like it's not doing the same thing again and again. So if you've got that 3 hours, then I guess you may as well do that all in one sitting. However, I recommend spacing them out throughout your week. You probably want to take at least 1 day off of playing Neverwinter, or you have some other family business and whatnot, or you just don't have free time. So just do one of these per day and you'll be playing sailing. That'll be 30 minutes spent. Now to obtain that extra 300 favor that you need per day, just to get that extra 2,200, there are many different things you can do. Well, there are 3. First up, you could farm the quests. These are the quests that you get from the notice board, and you essentially get 3 of them, and once you complete one of them, you can go and pick up another one, and you can continually do so. Now, these quests essentially will give you between 30 to 50 Zariel favor. So on average you probably get about 40 Zariel favor per quest. This means you will have to do a total of 55 quests if you wanted to do it via that method, which would mean you have to do about 7 to 8 quests per day. The quests are alright. What I recommend doing as an alternative method to farming the favor is those big heroic encounters. Those big heroic encounters will spawn in the Stygian docks. It will be called Ascension. In the Ascension, there are these big elite mobs with tons of HP, and as a group you can just kill them all together and they will drop significant amount of favors. So on average you get about 100 per BHE, meaning you'll have to do about 22 of those BHEs within that week to get that extra favor. An alternative method to that is to gather a party together and literally just go to the Scab or the Stygian docks, the docks themselves, and just kill all of those elite mobs. They generally drop between 5 to 10 favor each. However, sometimes they drop nothing, so on average you probably get about 3 favors per mob. So my recommendation is, yes, pick up these quests, then do the BHEs when you can. Sometimes it'll be frustrating, you can't get into the instances where they are there. You can look in the zone chat, you will see people spamming BHE all the time, and then you'll get the odd one which will say which encounter, like here, BHE 75. That means you'll need to jump to that instance 75 and you'll be able to join in that heroic encounter. So as long as you space yourselves out, you should be fine. You want to spend probably about an hour between doing weeklies and farming out either quests or heroics to obtain those favors. And with spending an hour, you should easily obtain that 7,000 favors per week. However, I'm not entirely sure on this, but this is my assumption. Once milestone 1 is completed and those 4 weeks are up when we've hit the 15th of September, milestone 2 will get unlocked. But if you have bought your Reforger's Blessings, which I have bought the pack, so I essentially have all of them, then you will remain this one unlocked and you'll be able to still progress on it. However, with milestone 2 also unlocked, I believe you can farm both of them at the same time. So a good strategy to do then would be just ignore this event. Buy your Reforger's Blessing, the pack, to unlock all of them. That's if you have the spare Zen. Just forget about this event until we hit milestone 4. Then just complete milestone 4 and all the previous milestones should get completed while you complete milestone 4. This would be a very easy way to complete it. However, I make no guarantees that this is how it will work. Potentially when you farm favors it will only progress the bar of the previous one until it's completed. That would be not very cool, cryptic. But we shall see how that goes. And on top of this, there have been hinted at that we are getting hunts. They had a pack in the Zen market, I believe it was in the packs here, that was selling hunt lures. This definitely means we'll be getting hunt throughout Avernus. And with that, I can only assume that the hunt lures will be obtained by farming mobs. By farming mobs who also gaining Zariel favor. So I recommend if you've bought your Reforger's Blessing, you could wait until those hunts come. Because with those hunts, you'll probably be farming those mobs anyway. So then you can gain favors and you can gain your hunt lures. And that way you're doing more than one thing at once, rather than just mindlessly grinding this favor. So that's something I am consider doing. But yeah, I'm just going to complete my weeklies, and whenever I just feel like I don't really have much to do, I'll just complete some of these quests and do heroics when they spawn in my instance, or I join a party and we're jumping instances just to farm them. Also, one thing to mention if you didn't realize it. Make sure you go over to the vendor just here and go to miscellaneous, and you can see here every week you can purchase 5 preservation boards there, and you can also every day purchase 10,000 astral diamonds. These will be straight up astral diamonds. They won't be rough astral diamonds. Here they kind of say they're rough astral diamonds in the text title there, but they're actually just 10,000 astral diamonds. You could spend on rough astral diamonds, but complete waste. Teleport scrolls are fierce handy for when you just want to return in those quests nice and quickly. You can just use one of the scrolls and just quickly teleport all the way to this campfire right here. You'll end up at this campfire just below at the bottom of here in the center of the Citadel. So that's it for this video. Hopefully this was somewhat helpful. I highly recommend you just take it slow. No need to just farm it all out in one go. You'll just end up wrecking yourself, getting sick and mad at the game, and you'll just end up quitting. Hopefully I presented this well. If I did, consider leaving the video a like. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye for now.